Now to the presidential transition. President-elect Donald Trump has selected two immigration hardliners to serve in his new administration.
WGN's Christine Flores is joining us with more on how the choices could affect U.S. policy. Christine.
Ray and Lourdes, good evening. A number of immigration attorneys say fear has been expressed to them far before the election. They say now they are focusing on educating people about their rights and holding state and local officials who have said they will protect immigrant rights accountable.
When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. So we are taking them at their word.
That's how Jose Vera, executive director of the Southwest Suburban Immigrant Project, says he and his team are approaching the upcoming Trump presidency.
There were campaign promises on mass deportations, right? And we know we're going to have to fight back. We have built significant safeguards here in Illinois, but we know that we will have to do more.
Immigration attorney Fiona McEntee says her office has received calls about deportation concerns months leading up to the election, and even now as we await Donald Trump to be sworn in come January.
From our experience, we could feel the fear in the community well in advance of the election results.
On Monday, Trump announced two appointments to his upcoming administration. Tom Homan, his former acting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director, will serve as border czar, putting him in charge of the nation's borders. He talked about Trump's administration during the Republican National Convention in July.
As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now, because you're going home.
He also named longtime serving advisor Stephen Miller to be the deputy chief of policy.
Stephen Miller, who was orchestrated the family separation policy, cruelty was absolutely the point. That won't be a surprise if that happens again. That happened before. The campaign ran on this anti-immigrant hatred that was most often directed towards Black and brown immigrants.
There are roughly 11 million people in the United States who lack permanent legal status. McEntee believes the massive financial cost of a mass deportation will deter it.
The American Immigration Council did a report in relation to mass deportation, and they have estimated the cost at being over $300 billion as like a one-time cost just to do that massive deportation. So that's just one cost that we're thinking about. Then there would be ongoing costs if it wasn't done in such a mass way.
Immigrant allies say living in a state like Illinois brings a bit of peace of mind during the time of the unknown.
As a DACA recipient and, as someone who has, with first generation here in the U.S., I would say I am glad to live here in the state of Illinois. And we will hold the governor accountable.
Immigrant organizations and attorneys say they're advising people through Know Your Rights workshops and looking at their individual case needs. On a separate note, attorney McEntee says her office has also received a number of calls from Americans actively looking for immigration or citizenship options outside of the U.S. Live in the newsroom, Christine Flores, WGN News.